Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Eagle Forum Capitol Hill update. I'm Tabitha Walter, Eagle Forum's Executive Director. Boy, do we have good news for you this week. After what feels like the longest year under the Biden administration, conservatives were finally handed down a few wins from the Supreme Court. Rulings on guns, religious freedom, and abortion resulted in righting wrongs and sending the left into a tizzy. Last week, SCOTUS struck down a restrictive gun law in the state of New York. Not only did New Yorkers have to apply for a license to carry a gun outside of their home, but they had to give a, quote, proper cause. After 2 residents were denied a permit after citing self-defense, the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association sought to uphold their constitutional rights. The 6-3 decision put similar laws in 8 other states and the District of Columbia at risk of being overturned. Gun Owners of America's Senior Vice President Eric Pratt issued this statement, quote, "This is a tremendous victory for all American gun owners who cherish their God-given right to protect themselves and their families. At GOA, we proudly fight to overturn restrictive gun laws, and we are excited to see May issue concealed carry laws permanently regulated to the history books. After all, allowing the government to decide which citizens are permitted to carry a firearm outside the home downgrades our God-given rights to mere privileges. This is why the Second Amendment says our right to keep and bear firearms shall not be infringed," end quote. Now, ironically, Biden signed a gun control bill the same week. The Bipartisan Safer Communities Act was spurred by the school shootings in Uvalde, Texas, even though the measure did little to prevent these situations. Instead, it incentivizes states to create red flag laws, forces private sellers into the category of gun dealers, and bans anyone under a restraining order from purchasing a gun without due process. The bill easily passed both chambers with 15 Republican senators and 14 Republican House members voting in favor. After protecting the Second Amendment, the court took a hard look at defending religious freedom based on the First Amendment. As laid out in Kennedy versus Bremerton School District, Coach Joseph Kennedy was fired in 2008 for kneeling to pray on the field after football games. Eagle Forum joined an amicus brief drafted by former Vice President Mike Pence in favor of Coach Kennedy's right to religious expression. Fortunately, the court agreed in their 6-3 ruling. Justice Neil Gorsuch wrote in the majority opinion, quote, "Respect for religious expressions is indispensable to life in a free and diverse republic, whether those expressions take place in a sanctuary or on a field, and whether they manifest through spoken word or a bowed head. Here, a government entity sought to punish an individual for engaging in a brief, quiet, personal religious observance, doubly protected by the free exercise and free speech clauses of the First Amendment," end quote. Of course, we have saved the best for last. Roe versus Wade will not see its 50th birthday. In the case of Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization, the court upheld Mississippi's 15-week abortion ban in another 6-3 ruling. The decision ultimately gave states the ability to make their own decisions on abortion restrictions. Immediately after the decision, trigger laws restricting abortion in 13 states went into effect. Governors in other states like Virginia are calling for pro-life legislation. Eagle Forum's president, Chris Allman, stated, quote, "Today's Supreme Court ruling upholding the Mississippi 15-week abortion ban is a victory for women and their preborn babies. Our work is not over, but a new phase in the fight for life is just beginning. We will continue to advocate for strong pro-life laws and resources for women who are facing unexpected pregnancies," end quote. Now, Eagle Forum will continue to advocate for the policies needed to make abortion unthinkable. We have created a toolkit that has every resource you will need to advance strong state and federal policies needed to protect life. In order for a post-Roe society to be successful, we need your elected officials to be pro-life as well. Check out our website at eagleforum.org to learn how you can be instrumental in creating a pro-life majority in both the United States House and Senate. While you're there, sign up for our emails and alerts so you don't miss ways to take action. Thank you for listening to our Capitol Hill update, and we will see you back here next week.